Shalom, friends. Rob Vanhoff here with Rob on the Rock. I want to give a few comments here on the beginning of our Torah portion this week, which is Parashat Terumah, which extends from Exodus 25:1 almost through all of 27. So it's basically Exodus 25 through 27. And I just want to look at the first two verses here. We'll read through it in Hebrew and talk about it. And then I'll do a follow-up on the Telos Torah channel from another passage from our same Torah portion. So let's look here. So again, our Torah portion is called Terumah, which is the word translated contribution here that you see in the NASB. It doesn't occur till verse 2, as we'll see. But the Torah portion is a wonderful one. It introduces initially Moses with the plans for the Mishkan, for the tabernacle. And the Terumah is the word that God uses to tell Moses of all the materials that he is to collect from Israel to build this Mishkan so that he can dwell in their midst. And we'll read here and talk about the opening. It's important 2 verses here. It begins with Exodus 25:1. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael, veyikechu li terumah. Me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo, tikechu et terumati. So what you see here is 2 verses. Of course, the first one's short and sweet. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying. Then verse 2, Daber el bnei Israel. Speak to the children of Israel, or speak to the sons of Israel. Now, the NASB here says, tell the sons of Israel to take a contribution. That's a fair translation, but technically it's speak to the children of Israel, and then we, instead of a purpose clause, we just have a vav. Ve yikechu li terumah, and they will take for me a terumah, a contribution. So speak to the children of Israel, and they will take for me a contribution. Me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo, from every man whose heart moves him, basically. Or the verb here, yidvenu, is from nadav, where we get the lahit nadev is to volunteer oneself. And this is a simple call, but whose heart volunteers, you could say, whose heart stirs him up. But libo, or lave, is the subject of this clause. From every man whose heart moves him. So the heart is moving the man, it says. Tikechu et terumati. You will take my terumah. So the very last word, terumati, that, so by itself it's terumah. This is from the root resh vav mem, rum, which has to do with being lifted up. Terumah is something lifted up, right? It's something offered to God. It's a contribution with the suffix terumati, my terumah. So the Lord is already saying that this belongs to him. This terumah is his, as it says at the very last word here in verse 2. They will, or y'all will take my terumah. So my question, when does the terumah become the Lord's? Is it already here? It says, Vayikechu li terumah. They will take for me terumah. But at the end, Tikehu et terumati. Y'all will take my terumah. My view is that it already is his. It's his before it's even taken. And why would I say that? Because, as it says here, speak to the children of Israel, and they will take for me a terumah. And then it clarifies, Me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo, from every man whose heart moves him. Well, who moves the heart? So my view is that God is telling Moses in advance that you're going to go speak to Israel and you're going to tell them the materials list, which starts with verse 3. And there will be a whole bunch of people whose heart will be stirred up, and they will bring everything needed. They're not, if God asks for gold and silver, which he does, people aren't bringing things that aren't on the list. So God defines what the list is, what the materials are. And that's what's received as his terumah, where he says terumati. He doesn't receive anything as his terumah that's not on his list. And the list is not man's list. God gave the list. God gave the list, and his terumah is defined by what is on the list, and he has said that they will bring it. So, God gets what he wants, and the people participate with a stirred up heart. God gets his materials list filled out. How do we know? Well, because the tabernacle gets built. And as we learn from the end of Exodus, the glory of the Lord fills the tabernacle. And it says the tabernacle is made according to spec, exactly just as the Lord had commanded Moses. God knew that he would dwell with his people, and he moved hearts of individuals, many individuals, to participate in the gathering of the materials, the building. We know of individuals that are singled out by name in this revelation. Oholiav, Bezalel are two individuals that God tells Moses in advance that they will have wisdom. They will have God's wisdom to be able to fulfill this requirement. So even though it says, have them, tell them what I need, there's no place here where the Lord is somehow giving control over to the world of men whether or not they're going to fulfill this. Right? Because, a king can say, bring all these things to me, and it doesn't mean people are going to bring it. God is sure that he's going to dwell with his people. That means God ensures that the materials are available. He ensures that there are people who will bring those materials, and that it's their own heart moving them to do so. So, one more time, Daber el bnei Yisrael, speak to the children of Israel, ve'yikehu li terumah, and they all will bring for me, or they will take for me, literally, a terumah. Me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo, from each and every man whose heart stirs him up. Tichehu et terumati, you will take my terumah. So here's my materials list. It will be fulfilled, and you will receive it from the men whose heart moves them. This is a picture of God getting what he wants, and for God's people, for select individuals moved by God himself, stirred up in their hearts out of love of God, out of a desire to obey him. and they bring not their own invented items, but items that God has already set forth, the list that he has defined, and it's all for the purpose of building his tabernacle, that he will dwell among his people. So one more time in Hebrew. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael, vayikechu li terumah, me'et kol ish asher yidavenu libo, tichechu et terumati. Y'all shall take my terumah. It's already his. Before they even take it, it already belongs to him. And it belongs to him. His ownership is marked by the stirring up of the hearts of the individuals, because it's the materials brought forth from those whose heart is stirred up. So my view is that it's in the act of God stirring up the heart of these individuals where he is claiming ownership of his terumah. So when they bring it, they are reckoned as having contributed, because in fact they have physically, they had the thought, they obeyed, they brought the material, it was accepted. They are full participants, and God is getting what he wants at the same time. And he is not giving this over to chance. He will dwell in the midst of his people because that is his will. All right, so just a few comments here on our first chapter, Exodus 25, verses 1 and 2. And hope you all have a nice Shabbat. I'll be going over to the Tell a Story channel and doing another short video on another section from our Torah portion.